everybody, my name is Emmett, and today I'm going to be doing a review for the Winkie STP. Okay, so this is the first in a 3-part review. We'll be starting with the Winkie, and then it'll be the Dickie, and then it'll be Willie. So this is the Winkie STP. So the first thing you might notice is this is a sort of medicine spoon style receptacle, as opposed to, the cup being built in, like a huge cup being built into the STP. This is much smaller. I've actually had a few people ask me if I know any good STPs with this style of receptacle. So if that's something that you're looking for, this is a really good option. This tube is really long, but you can trim this down if you would like. So I kind of like that it came super long, because then you can cut it to whatever. I didn't trim this just because I used this just at home, give it a shot. This would be really, really good if you need something, if you're like going hiking or camping, or, if you're going somewhere where you don't particularly want to sit to pee, like a stall in a public bathroom or something. This is also a really good option if you don't want something that is realistic. I know there are a lot of people that want to stand to pee but don't necessarily want to see what would be considered male anatomy when they do so. So this would be a really good option for that. So using this, I have had a lot of success with this style of STP in the past, but it had been a little while since I had used one. So it took a little bit of practice to get the hang of it again, but once I did, I had no problems using this. The tubing is pretty big, not obnoxiously big, but pretty big, and the hole in the receptacle is also pretty big. So as long as you're not like super going hard, like forcing yourself to get it all out at once, you shouldn't have any issues with this at all. So I would recommend this if this is something that you're interested in trying, or if you don't want something that looks realistic and you like this style of receptacle, this is definitely the way to go. So some cons to this, and this isn't necessarily a con, I understand why it's like this, but this is hard plastic. And so like it won't collapse or get squished or anything, but it can be a little bit uncomfortable to have pressed up against you. The edges aren't sharp or anything, so that's nice, like the edges are rounded off. And it has, if you can see, just a little bit of a curve here, so it kind of fits against you better, which is nice. But you do have to sort of, I don't know the best way to say this, you do have to sort of, wedge it in there. So that could be uncomfortable for some people, especially if you don't really like messing with your anatomy or anything. I personally didn't have any problems with it, because this is something, I used something very similar to this as my first STP in the past, so something that I had experience with. Another con to this is it's not really something you could pack with. It's super easy to just since this tubing is super flexible, you can just fold it up and stick it in a pocket or in a backpack or a bag or anything. So that's not a huge issue, and I doubt that you would want to be packing with it anyway, especially if you're the kind of person that doesn't want something that looks realistic. So I will be putting a link in the description to where you can get this. And I'll also, as they're uploaded, I'll include links to parts 2 and 3. If you have any questions or anything like that, always feel free to ask in the comments below. I try to answer any questions anybody has. And I will see you guys in part 2.